folks, this is Krishnendu. Welcome to my channel. Today, as you can see, we are bringing you the comprehensive review of the amazing Bonneville T120. The Bonneville T120, as the name suggests, it's a 1200cc engine, HT. Now, this engine is shared with a number of bikes, with multiple bikes, the Bonneville T120, the Thruxton R, the Speedmaster, and also the Bobber. They're of course all in a different state of tune. This one, the T120 that we've been rating for almost a week now. Power delivery is at 79 bhp and the torque is a humongous 102 Nm of torque at 3400. That's incredible. You know, the moment you touch the throttle, the power delivery is instantaneous. You see, the Bonneville series of motorcycles have been brought out to bring out the classic factor. That is why they're called the modern classics. You know, everything about it is like the original Bonnevilles of the 50s and 60s. With all the modern technology in here, the fuel intake is through fuel injection. To give the classic look, they have the carbs here, which are false carbs. In fact, everything that you see here is just for the looks. It's a totally modern machine. Look at the wonderful fins here. Because the fins are there, there would be some heat dissipation, but this is a liquid cooled engine. But the fins are there to give it the classic look. Full chrome exhaust. However, this is a classic bike and it is not a sport bike. We are not getting stuff like, you know, adjustable shocks. This is not a USD shock. At the rear, you just have a preload adjustment, whereas in the more sport model of the Thruxton R, you can adjust everything on it, which is what makes it far more expensive. This is a far more affordable motorcycle, and also the power delivery is far more, I would not say manageable, because it's a really fast motorcycle. You know, the throttle response is instantaneous, and when you go on the straights, you do manage to reach 180 kilometers an hour without any problems at all. Don't do such speeds in India, of course. If anybody says, do you do rash driving? Do you want to do rash driving? Remember, Ken says no. Front twin disc brakes, 320mm rotor. The Nissan brakes, they have the bite. It does the job. It is not your, you know, since it's not a performance motorcycle, it is not, you know, it is not an instantaneous stop, but it does the job. Now let me show you the instrument console. I love this tack, you know, this actual mechanical tack. Riding a KTM for such a long time now, I almost started ignoring the tack because it's a small digital thing on top, but I like looking at this, you know, riding it, and you get all your power somewhere here, all your torque somewhere here, which is what makes this bike so usable. You can see this is I, that is for the information, and this information is reflected on this panel over here. That's the time. It shows midnight. As you can see, it's midnight right now. Click the I button once again and you see there's DTC on. That's 6,700 on the Odo. That's trip 1, and you have trip 2. Number of liters per 100 kilometers. Now that's the final question always on motorcycles when you buy in India. Kitna deti hai? And this bike averages, according to your riding style, anywhere between 23 and 27 kilometers to a liter. On the other side, over here, you have two riding modes. Currently you can see road, which is the default mode, and on the grips, the right grip, you have an icon which says M. You depress it once and you see it blinks on rain, and you can see rain over here. Press it twice and it comes to road. Rain, road. This is the off position. Here the fuel pump is activated, and then to start the bike, typical idling is at 1100 RPM. The ABS over here is blinking and it comes on once it starts moving. A little gripe over here I have is the indicator button. You know, for left, right, it's fine, but to depress it, this is something, it's so pointy. You know, even while wearing gloves, after a point of time, your thumb begins to tire. But at the same time, there's a huge positive on this motorcycle is that you have heated grips. In a city like Delhi or in North India in winter, which is pretty cold for 2 months of the year, it's a boon. And just because of heated grips, you feel like going to the mountains. Now the heated grip also has multiple modes, just like the riding modes. You depress it once, it shows here off. Depress it a second time, it shows low, and depress it a third time, it shows high. And the last element on the controls is that this is your hazard switch. This motorcycle, modern classic, Now what is a modern classic? I mean, this is what a modern classic is all about, you know. On top of that, you're getting a 1200cc engine, 79 PS of power, that's a lot of power, 102 Nm of torque, that's humongous torque at 3400, and at a price point which is a little aggressive, but it's a good price point. Get it at almost 10 lakhs ex-showroom. I think it's a very good everyday buy. You can take it to office. It exudes a lot of class. It shows off your personality. It's a great motorcycle to go to office actually. It's not just a Sunday bike. It can also be a bike for people, you know, a little older people who have given up motorcycling for a long time and want to get back to motorcycling because it will remind them of the days of the 50s and 60s, what motorcycling used to be, how motorcycles used to look. And at the same time, this bike is not a bad handler. It's a pretty decent handler. So in the city, it does everything, you know, it go across, cut through traffic. It's quite fast, as I was saying. It can go quite fast. Use it as a daily driver. Fantastic motorcycle, I would say. It's a good package overall. So Triumph has done a pretty good job with the classics, and it does sell pretty much all over the world actually. Great job, Triumph.